Happening Out Television Network, including Queer News Tonight, are proud to partner and sponsor the OUTshine Film Festival, which will run next week and later this week, August 20th to August 30th, with the opening night drive out of Stage Mother, a brilliant comedy to get the festival started off right. Tickets are on sale now for OUTshine Film Festival at outshinefilm.com. All of the platforms over the next 10 days of Happening Out Television Network will report more interesting news from one of the most important LGBTQ film festivals in the world. Here's a short video of what the festival is all about. Watch this. Well, we're very excited to report of the dozens of films being presented. One of them is called The Sound of Identity, premiering at the OUTshine Film Festival on Monday, August 24th at 7 p.m. We are about to welcome the film's director, James Kicklighter. The film is very interesting as it is about the first transgender woman ever to perform as Don Giovanni in a professional opera, making her historic debut in one of the reddest states in the United States. Welcome, James, to Queer News Tonight.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We're excited to have you. You're coming from Los Angeles.
I am. It is very hot right here in LA, so it's great to be here in the air conditioning.
James, the OUTshine Film Festival comes from South Florida. We know all about heat.
Yes, you do.
Tell us about this film, and you're the director. Tell us about, give us a synopsis of what we're going to see when we participate in the film.
Yes, The Sound of Identity is the story of Lucia Lucas, who is the first transgender opera singer in history to have a leading role on the American stage. And so our film really follows the process of the risk that the Tulsa Opera took in placing her in one of the reddest states in America and having this historic moment take place for the LGBTQ community. In showing that process, we're able to understand a lot more about opera, but also more importantly, understand how we present ourselves in public and what that identity means for us as members of the community.
You know, I was fascinated when I was reading the summary notes on the film. As the director of the film and the progress of creating this film that's good for the LGBT community, but also our traditional community, did it make any difference in terms of the subject matter here from a trans perspective or performing Don Giovanni as an opera singer? Would it have made any difference if it was in the performance was in a state like California or New York or South Florida that is very embracing to the LGBT community versus Oklahoma, which is very red? Was that a central piece that we're going to learn about in your movie, your film?
Well, it's an interesting point. I would say that the LGBT community, of course, exists in Tulsa and in Oklahoma. They have a great center there where they work with LGBT teens across the state, along with other members of the community. But I do think that having this event take place in Tulsa perhaps draws attention to it in a different way. As you point out, if you're in Miami or New York or Los Angeles, that might be something that people would expect. But by having it in Tulsa, I think that creates a new conversation in a community that may not necessarily have that conversation. I think it's very important that if we're going to have conversations about equality and bringing forth people's rights, we've got to take our messages to places that wouldn't normally hear them.
Well, the theme of the film is, of course, very interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm curious from your perspective, why do you think LGBTQ film festivals today, like Los Angeles is getting ready to start here in South Florida. OUTshine this year, unique in both Los Angeles and in South Florida. They're virtual digital film festivals. So you have unique opportunities to introduce your films into a much broader audience than you had before. Why do you think film festivals are important in 2020 for the LGBTQ community?
Well, I think film festivals have always been important, but maybe this year more than ever, as we've all been locked away in the midst of this pandemic, the unique opportunity here that we have as filmmakers, as members of the film community, is that you don't have to live in Miami to see The Sound of Identity or any other film that's screening at the festival. You could live in the and that's also true of other venues where we'll be screening the film in the next couple of months. Having that opportunity really allows us to expand that audience and meet people in different places. So in Florida, you might live in Miami, you might live in St. Lauderdale, or Fort Lauderdale, sorry, in Jacksonville, anywhere in the state of Florida, and you can have access without having to go physically to Miami. So I think that's a really remarkable opportunity for audiences.
Well, James Kickkleider, we're really appreciative that you've joined us tonight live from Los Angeles for your new film, The Sound of Identity. America, we remind you, especially Florida and South Florida, you can see the film at the OUTshine Film Festival. It is coming this Monday, August 24th at 7 p.m. Quite an interesting subject, very timely in terms of LGBT community, especially as you heard in terms of how the response of an opera performance from the trans community in one of the reddest states in America at a time that is pivotally important between red and blue in America. So congratulations on the film, James, and we're really glad you joined us tonight at Q News Tonight.
Thank you so much. Check the trailer out on the internet.